begin with, every organization, and IKEA being no different, is committed to delivering to their performance and delivering to their business goals. But what I think in this VUCA and BANI world becomes super important is not just about what you need to deliver to, but it's also about how you deliver to that. And in that, how are our co-workers in their overall well-being, in their overall happiness, in their overall satisfaction, how are our co-workers delivering to the performance goals becomes super important. So I think in the future of work, it will be a very, very important consideration, not just for the organizations, but I think for each and every co-worker, it is a very important consideration. Everybody wants to contribute, but it's not just about what they are contributing, it's how they are contributing.
Being a family-owned business for 7 generations, the topic of well-being is a core part of our culture. It starts from our vocabulary. We refer to our employees as primos and primas, which in Spanish means cousin. And this reflects the Bacardi family value we aim to cultivate. These are core pillars of our culture. They motivate us to take care of our employees globally. Bacardi has a global well-being task force that works in this program in all our markets around the world. All our regions have a dedicated well-being strategy and investment plan, and leaders are held accountable to it. As part of building community, as we speak, we are currently celebrating Well-Being Month in our AMEA region, where we have a 30 days, 30-minute fitness challenge, engagement activities, and employee webinars. One of the biggest investments we have made as a company to well-being is the Global Bacardi Assist program. This is a primo program tailored to us, offering free emotional and practical support to employees and their families. It's accessible any time of day and night in multiple languages. Emotional support includes counseling therapy, a stress reduction program, life coaching, and even a self-directed cognitive behavioral therapy program. Practical support includes things like dependent care support, legal and financial support, and day-to-day information services like home repair, travel, relocation, dining, entertainment. It's an amazing holistic offering that our employees leverage around the world. Another benefit we are very proud of is a global app called Calm that offers instructor-led sessions, sleep stories, meditation resources, all tailored to overcome stress and anxiety. Inclusion is a second core pillar of our culture. At Bacardi, we call it belonging. Belonging program in Bacardi is a global one, where every employee is taken through a 5-module belonging journey, educating them on important topics like psychological safety, microaggressions, inclusive high-performing teams, and top 200 leaders actually go through an intensive education journey which includes assessment and personalized coaching around belonging. We also have an amazing benefit for every employee around the world to contribute back to their communities. It's called the In Spirit Day, where you can take a day off to give back to the community.
AstraZeneca is a science-led biopharmaceutical company that focuses on research and is committed to push the boundaries of science to deliver life-changing medicines to transform patient outcomes for the benefit of our people, society, and the planet. Our innovative and transformative medicines save billions of lives across the globe, and AstraZeneca's Covishield, the COVID-19 vaccine, exemplifies our commitment to fostering healthy lives. These achievements and breakthroughs are made possible by our exceptional people, whom we consider our most valuable assets. In today's fast-changing, fast-paced, and ever-evolving business landscape, where world is very, very digitally connected, data is becoming a most powerful asset. Ever-changing geopolitical scenarios and situations which are impacting the world's economies as well. In all this entire environment, employee well-being is taking an unprecedented importance. Considering the future requirements for talent, for evolving nature of work, well-being should actually not just be viewed solely as a personal matter, but a strategic imperative and a priority for any and every organization. These are significantly influencing our overall performance levels, our resilience levels, and neglecting this aspect can actually have serious repercussions on any organization's health, on impacting productivity or engagement, or ultimately also impacting the overall bottom line. Leaders today have a very crucial role to play in such a scenario or a circumstance. There is a need for a paradigm shift, and their responsibilities actually are extending beyond implementing just the supporting policies, I would say, to embodying the principles of a balanced work-life approach in every aspect of an organization's culture.
Because when we take a look at what do we do as organizations, it's not one, but it'll usually be a basket of initiatives that help organizations and help our co-workers to secure that they have an overall feeling of positive well-being, and that we avoid the space of getting into a burnout. And maybe I could share some 3 initiatives that we have at IKEA, and I'll start with the first one, which is the basics of how do we schedule our co-workers for our operations in the stores. And that's where many of our co-workers are. So as part of our commitments to making sure that we are having our co-workers available to support our customers when we need, but also that we look after our co-workers, that they have their needed downtime, the co-workers have access to their schedules 4 weeks in advance at any given point in time. I think this helps their co-workers to be able to plan their lives outside of the workplace. They know which days they will have their weekly offs, and they can organize tasks that they need to do or take the needed downtime as well. So it's not from one day to another, but at any given point in time they have their schedules 4 weeks in advance. In addition to that, we actually support our co-workers to plan their leaves, that everybody can take their downtimes, spend times with their friends, family, rejuvenating themselves and coming back to work. As well as we do operationally look at overtime. That one, we avoid it in the first place. And second, in case we need to do, then we are making sure that it is within the regulated legal limits, as well as we are not putting too much of workload on a group of people or a co-worker. So I think that's something that we do as part of our routine operations. The second initiative that I could talk to you about is on our Employee Assistance Program, our EAP partners. So we do have EAP partners with us who support our co-workers and their families should they need the support of a counselor, not just for emotional well-being and mental well-being, but also if they need it for financial support, or even for that matter for if they have a need to be supported on legal advisory, because all these things are things that happen in life, and they may cause us not feeling okay. So our EAP partners are actually not just available to our co-workers virtually, but they are also physically present in our stores. So the co-workers can reach out to them, meet them, and then schedule their interactions with utmost confidentiality, as it should be. And the third initiative that I could talk about is actually in our workplace culture, and we really want to nurture our company or our company culture where we are looking after each other. There are many practices that we have in our everyday, and one such is that we check in with each other when we start our shifts, when we are in the middle of our meetings, and we encourage each other to ask us the question, are you okay? Our managers, our team leaders are also trained to support our co-workers, and check in with them. And when they have an indication that the co-workers may need more professional support, guide them to reach out to our EAP partners, that they can look after their well-being. So these were some of the initiatives that we have for the last few years that help our co-workers feel okay at work and in life.
As we transition into the future of work, employee well-being is becoming a necessary commitment for organizations. A recent McKinsey research found that improving global employee health and well-being could unlock economic value between 3.5 to 11.5 trillion based on different estimates. As organizations, we have enough research to rely on the fact that better employee well-being results in increasing productivity, attracting stronger talent, retaining talent, and increasing workforce participation at all ages. The research says that employees facing mental health and well-being challenges are 4 times more likely than others to want to leave their organizations. This decade has probably already proven to be one of the most turbulent of our times as employees at the workplace. Loss and change in workplace norms from COVID, multiple geopolitical crises, economic turbulence, and widespread job uncertainty. There has never been a more important time to support mental health holistically than now. It's actually inspiring to see so many organizations rising to the challenge and building on top of the foundation of basic physical health benefits to look at well-being more holistically.
Our well-being programs are clearly aligned with the needs of our employees and the overall ecosystem we all operate out of. Let me talk about some very high impact initiatives, which are falling under the umbrella of celebrating you. Now that's the word we use when we say celebrating you, which means celebrating every employee within an organization under 3 strategic imperatives. Number 1, our physical well-being, which is focused on. Number 2, our social well-being, which is focused upon. And number 3 is our financial well-being. When we talk about the physical well-being, lots and lots of elements in terms of offerings, whether it is simple yoga sessions, fitness challenges, annual health checkups, to name a few of these, which keep our people physically fit and healthy. Number 2, when we talk about, are the elements of social well-being. Looking at the provisions of mental health tools and techniques, psychological safety workshops, access to our professional counselors, a manager providing the right kind of environment and support to an employee, running supportive, collaborative work environment sessions. Lots of different offerings under the whole social well-being space are offered in order to create the right environment. Third segment is around financial well-being. Our comprehensive insurance program and policies give the employees and their family members the right kind of coverage, the right kind of medical support as needed. Pension programs, retirement plans, financial investment training sessions, all of these are a variety of offerings to keep you financially safe and take care of your future as well. All of these elements, bring in the right kind of, offerings under the umbrella, as I shared with you, of celebrating you. As we speak, this is an ever-evolving space, and we'll continue to invest in the well-being initiatives and to create a very happy and a healthy space for our people.
The good thing is that when we look at well-being today, it's been that in the last few years, it's developed a lot of mileage. So a lot of organizations look into well-being. I think the important question, so on one hand, that's a good thing. However, if I address the question on what could we do differently, I think what's important is that we need to be able to look at having the right support to offer to our co-workers for well-being. And if I take India for example, maybe we need to look deeper into where is it that we could support our co-workers that is actually disbalancing the well-being versus just copying what let's say the Western world is doing. To give an example, in the country we know that even when we talk about well-being, topics such as depression, anxiety, inclusion, whether it's gender or otherwise, it's still we are still not there. So, and this is impacting the well-being for our co-workers. So on one hand, it's really great that we put attention on the well-being topics, but on the other hand, I think it's really important that we are also looking deeper as to what we should be building our awareness on, having a conversation around that can actually support our co-workers where they are in their realities and not just blindly copy-paste. So I think that's one that I would like to share. The second, where we are, when I think about what is not being given the attention yet in terms of what needs to be prioritized on well-being, here I would like to talk about this a global report that came on women's participation in workforce. And this report said that today when we look at women's participation in workforce, there is 48% of women at the entry level and approximately 30% when you look at C-suite level. And in this report it mentions that it's been noted that around 1 billion people are in menopause as we speak. 10% of this population leave the workforce because of this for the challenges that arise due to this life stage. It says that 40% of the women work through the discomfort that happens not just physically but emotionally as well. So coming back to the question, I think what we need to bring our attention to, and especially as across companies, we are wanting to make sure that we are changing the participation of women in the workforce, knowing that there will be women across different life stages working with us with different responsibilities, that we can support them in the menopausal period as well as in the menstrual period of their life stages. It's not an illness, it is a life stage which brings with it demands on the physical body and the emotional part as well. So how can we as organizations embrace this as a reality and support our co-workers who will be contributing in a very positive and strong way for our growth journeys ahead? How do we look after them in this life stage? So I think that's one area where a lot of companies should pay attention in. How do we look after our women co-workers in their menstrual period as well as in their menopausal period?
I would say today all aspects of well-being are gaining priority at a rapid pace. And that's a net positive for the entire workforce. Currently, mental health and work-life balance are gaining significant priority in India. This is a positive shift. It helps dispel the outdated notions of working endless hours to be able to progress your career. I also believe that the awareness of workplace environments and creating a safe culture are where our businesses need to make more strides. I also feel that one aspect that today in India employers can focus more on is financial well-being and literacy. This can have a profound impact on an employee's overall well-being. One change I'd like to see in the future is one of balance, taking a holistic approach across all aspects of well-being, physical, mental, emotional, and financial, to really equip employees to bring their best performing selves every day to work.
First and foremost, all aspects of well-being are vital for the success of any organization. And as a research-based organization, a science-led pharmaceutical company, we understand that better than most. At AstraZeneca, we prioritize holistic employee well-being, focusing on 3 important key pillars: physical well-being, social well-being, and financial well-being. Our comprehensive well-being offerings and programs include remote and hybrid working models, mental health awareness trainings, digital well-being initiatives, personalized well-being plans and programs, sustainable practices and policies as well. Not only do these enhance the lives of our workforce, but also form a basis of a very resilient, innovative, and a sustainable business model. Lastly, we are also very pleased to receive a very positive feedback, from our employees when we run our employee engagement surveys, which are called Pulse. Over 90% of our employees are actually very satisfied with our well-being offerings, and that gives a very reassuring message. As a part of our commitment, we will continue to strive for a safer, happier, and a healthier workplace, enabling our people to unleash the potential of what science can do and develop sustainable innovative medicines for the benefit of our people, society, and the planet.